Howdy folks, I'm Cold Chill, constantly creeping up on cheerful children.
I remember.
And here are more cheerful children for us to creep up upon and freeze. I don't know if I like this tongue twister, Amber. Let's get started.
Well, kids will be playing outside longer than they think.
Yeah, but it's the creeping up on the kids here. This is the creeping up on the kids, Amber. The optics.
Hey kids, it's me, your old pal, the Cold. Come on over to the van, kids.
Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Remake My Sister's Wedding Cake? So am I a jerk for refusing to remake my sister's wedding cake even though I ruined it? So I'm a 19-year-old female and I do hobby baking. I'm not a professional, but people say my stuff looks good, and I've made birthday cakes for my family before. My older sister Emily, a 27-year-old female, fake name, is getting married next weekend and asked if I could make her wedding cake to quote-unquote save money and keep it in the family. I told her I wasn't comfortable doing something that high pressure, but she insisted it would be simple and rustic, and I agreed. That was my first mistake. Well, fast forward to yesterday, I finished the 3 tiers, stacked them, and refrigerated everything. While moving it to a different shelf, the entire top tier slid off and smeared down the side like a frosted avalanche. I panicked and I tried to fix it, but the more I touched it, the worse it looked. It ended up looking like a toddler punched it repeatedly. Well, I immediately told my sister and I apologized. She freaked out and said that I sabotaged her day, that I never take things seriously, and that I had to remake the whole cake today. For some context, I had already spent 2 days baking, and remaking it would mean missing both work and college exams. I told her that I didn't have the time or ability to redo it on such a short notice. I even offered to pay for a professional bakery rush order, but she said that it wasn't the point and accused me of abandoning her. Now the whole family is divided. My mom says that I should just get over it and remake it because it's family. My dad says my sister pressured me into something that she knew I wasn't ready for. My sister isn't speaking to me at all, so am I the jerk for refusing to remake the wedding cake even though I ruined the first one? Alright folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I think the offering to pay for a professional baker was a perfectly reasonable substitution. She was making a big demand, and granted, OP shouldn't have agreed to this in the first place, but they were under a lot of pressure. I would, again, feel a little bit different if there was no recourse. It would be a stickier situation there. But since OP has offered to cover the baker, I don't understand what the sister wants.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that she just wants to be upset at OP. I have a feeling that no matter what OP did in the situation, it was never going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That the cake that OP produced wasn't going to be rustic or whatever enough for her, or going to be too unprofessional, and she was probably just going to say OP ruined things on purpose no matter what.
Yeah, well, the fact that the mom is siding with the sister, I think tells you something about their family dynamics, because no reasonable person would look at this and be like, oh yeah, OP's in the wrong here. You should definitely miss your work and your exams to make your sister's cake.
Yeah, well, OP has other responsibilities, and this was an accident. I could understand the sister being upset if OP did this on purpose, like brought the cake up to her and then was like, oops, guess you should have gotten a professional to do it. Then, yeah, the sister would have real reason to be upset at that point in time, right? But the sister pressured OP into this too, which I really don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Exactomundo67 says, you offered to make it right in a way that would work out for everyone and still allow you to take your exam and get paid for your actual job. No, you're not the jerk. Your sister needs to calm down. She sounds like an entitled bridezilla. And Snackpick says, she knew that it was a big ask and now is panicking, so you're the scapegoat. But you handled it maturely, offered a real fix, and she threw a temper tantrum. And Low Woodpecker 4828 says, darn, these things happen. I guess that she is perfect and never had something go sideways. You offered a solution, but she refused. Her problem, not yours. Exams are too important, work too, but missing an exam always comes at a cost. For my students, it is a 15% grade reduction unless you're in surgery or dead. And Ankha 4921 says, sounds like your sister is a cheapskate and controlling. You did warn her that this was out of your comfort zone. if her wedding isn't important enough to her that she is willing to leave such an important job to a non-professional, that's on her, not the jerk. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to make invites for my ex-best friend's wedding after I was uninvited? I'm a 28-year-old female, and I was friends with this woman we'll call S, a 28-year-old female, since we were seniors in high school. Neither of us had great home lives and got close because of that, and quickly became like family. About 2 years ago, she met her now fiance, a 32-year-old male, and they got engaged last year. I was so happy for her, and we immediately started planning the wedding. Her fiance is very well off and very known in our area. It became clear to me that they had little to no budget for the wedding. However, during the planning, she couldn't find a designer that she trusted to do the invites and asked if I would do them instead. I have a small background in graphics design, so I agreed. Well, fast forward to this past September, during a night out, she got a little tipsy and admitted to me that she hadn't felt close to me in recent months. I was shocked, especially considering there hasn't been a day we haven't talked since we met back in high school. She basically said that she started feeling like she outgrew our friendship when she met her fiance and joined his friend group, and she thought giving it time would help, but it hadn't. She also showed me messages that she sent in a secret group chat with a few other girls in the wedding party, saying that she didn't actually want me there anymore. She just didn't want to tell me since I was doing the invites. One of the girls responded back saying that she should end the friendship like she's been wanting to, and just pay for someone else to do them. Obviously, I was hurt by this and pretty much drove home in shock not long after. I woke up the next morning with an apology text from her, and after I told her I didn't accept it, she got upset and said that I can't be mad at something that she said when she was drunk. We didn't end the conversation on good terms, and I was promptly removed from the main group chat for the wedding party, essentially letting me know that I wouldn't be invited anymore. Yesterday, she texted me asking if I would have the invites ready by the original deadline she had given me. I told her that I wouldn't be doing them anymore, and she got mad. She sent a bunch of texts back basically saying that she was clearly right to uninvite me, and that the only reason why I wouldn't do the invites is because I'm jealous she's married and I'm not, etc. Well, I blocked her number and went on with my day, but I woke up this morning to messages from two of our mutual friends, saying that it's wrong of me to back out of a commitment that I made to her since I agreed to do it before we stopped being friends. They also said that if I wasn't going to do the invites, then I should have had the decency to let her know beforehand, but I felt like that was a given following the fallout. I'm now being called bitter and petty, and I can tell that they won't be letting this go anytime soon. I think that it's silly considering that S has more than enough money to pay someone else to do them. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, what a way to treat someone who's doing you a major favor. Like, wedding invites are expensive for a reason, and OP was going to do this all as a favor, and then the friend was like, couldn't even be bothered to have someone who cares enough to do this for her for free to be in the wedding party.
So, I think that S is a really terrible individual here, right? And like her whole excuse, oh, you can't hold something against me that I said while I was drunk. Well, were you drunk with all of those messages that you wrote to all of your friends? Secret group chat? Yeah, like, no, she wasn't. She's literally trying to be like, use the drunk excuse when she was sober, like, most of the time. Like,
well, and even if she was, like, that still wouldn't excuse her behavior. No. You're still responsible for the actions you take while drunk.
Yeah, and so I think that OP is right to walk away from this, right? This doesn't even make any sense at a certain point to stay in a relationship or a friendship where she's talking behind your back about how she wishes she could invite you, but she doesn't want to because then the invites aren't going to get made, right?
Well, and she even clearly stated that basically she only is keeping OP around for the invites.
Yeah.
And like, can you imagine being on the receiving end of that? Someone you were going to do this major favor with from the goodness of your heart only wants you around because you're useful to them.
Yeah.
And now can't even be bothered to stomach your presence in the wedding party.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that S hopefully gets everything she deserves on her wedding day. And I mean, by that, I hope the groom cheats on her during the wedding. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Friend That Proposing is Not a Suitable Christmas Present? I have a friend who we'll call Harry. Harry and I have known each other for over a decade, and we're in our early 30s. He was part of my own wedding party, and 99 out of 100 times, he's a great all-around guy. Henry has been dating his girlfriend for about 4 years. She is an absolute diamond, and brings out all the best qualities in him. A couple weeks ago, Henry confided in me that he was planning to propose to his partner over Christmas. She is very family focused, and he is setting it up so his parents unexpectedly visit them while they're doing Christmas with her family this year, early in the morning. And he will propose during the present opening in front of his and her parents and her siblings and partners and kids. When chatting about the arrangements a couple of days ago, Henry made a throwaway comment about the engagement saving him some time in relation to the rest of his Christmas shopping. I asked him what he meant, and he said that since he was proposing, he hadn't planned to get his partner anything else for Christmas. I said that those two were not mutually exclusive. When I got engaged, albeit not at Christmas, my husband still got me a birthday present the following month. Henry raised that the ring was costing him more than several usual Christmas and birthday presents combined, which is true, but it was not the case that he was scraping together every last penny to buy it either, and that there's no money to spare for a couple of gifts that he would usually get his partner. I also pointed out that since he is hoping to surprise her with a proposal, that it would become quite obvious that something was afoot if there were no other presents for her under the tree. Well, we go back and forth for a little while, and Henry continued to take the stance that getting engaged is definitely a gift. I said that it was all well and good, but that his girlfriend will absolutely have bought him gifts, and that he will appreciate and use them, and that the engagement is in no way the same kind of exchange in that sense. Additionally, while his partner is in no way materialistic, she is someone who appreciates the give and take of mutual present exchanges like Christmas, white elephants, etc. We didn't have a major fight or anything like that about this, but Henry said that he's probably not going to share more about the engagement with me because I have differing views. I don't want to be a stubborn old fool on something that I'm clearly wrong about, so I would appreciate the view of the internet strangers on this. Edit, a couple of comments are on the same line, so I'll respond here instead of them individually. He shouldn't propose to her in front of others. Getting engaged in front of family would suit his partner to a T. This is definitely something that she would want based on previous conversations. You shouldn't involve yourself too much in your friend's life. The entire discussion lasted maybe 5 minutes while we were having a drink, including Henry saying not bringing it up anymore. In no way have I told him point blank to do or not do something, and we have spoken since then civilly on other topics. I'd hope that everyone has a friend or two who will be honest to them if they think that they're wrong. To be frank, my question here centered on the proposal as a gift, not if I'm a bad friend. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I think OP brings an important perspective to the table. The engagement is supposed to be about both halves of the couple.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of weird for him to act like, oh, you getting engaged to me is the gift. And I know
Yeah.
he's like, well, there's
Yeah.
an expensive ring. But again, engagement is a union of two people. And the fact that he's inviting his family shows that it's about both of them.
Yeah.
You know? And so it does feel strange to me that he would just not have any kind of gift for her.
Well, I think that this could go wrong in a lot of ways. One, what happens if she doesn't accept the engagement, right? Then doesn't even have any Christmas presents. But maybe at that point in time, like, I don't know what happens, right? Like, does he get his presents?
She gets his presents.
She gets his presents, right? Also, he is also getting engaged if it's successful. So why is this not a present to him then, right? Babe, don't get me anything. I got a special present for both of us, right? So I think that there are a lot of pieces here that he's not really considering well, and I think that OP is trying to warn them that this isn't going to go well. Hopefully he consults other people, and they also tell him, oh, hey, you need to get her a gift, because he needs to get her gifts other than the ring, right?
Right.
They're two different things.
Well, that's it, you know, and I feel like it unfortunately leads into that unfortunate notion that engagements are for women to appease them type of deal. Like, again, this is for both of them.
Yeah.
And they should both be happy and excited to take this next step in their relationship.
Exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, in our next letter is an update. Am I the jerk for telling my friend that her free wedding is unrealistic? Hi there, my last post sort of blew up. I really didn't think so many people would be that interested in my silly friend group drama. Short recap, my friend Coral announced that she was going to have a free wedding, with all of her friends playing roles to volunteer a nice venue, tent, food, photography, band, cake, my role, etc. It sounded okay at first, but her expectations seemed unrealistically lavish. And I told her that in stronger wording, and she got upset. After reading the comments, I honestly began to feel bad for Coral. She really is a kind-hearted person, but a lot of people interpreted her as an entitled bridezilla. That is not the case. I decided that I was going to make the cake, and I sent her an apology text, to which I didn't get a reply. That was making me really anxious. I still didn't think Coral's request was that reasonable, and I wasn't expecting the wedding to fully go to her plans. But that wasn't for me to worry about. Finally, I got a message from Coral's fiance, who we'll call Basil, asking to meet up, and I said yes. My expectations going into this was that Basil would tell me how much I hurt Coral's feelings, and that I was going to reiterate my apology and share some research and planning that I had done for the cake. That's not how it went, though. As it turns out, the whole free wedding thing was Basil's idea. That's not the impression that I got before. Basil didn't at first explain why he wanted to do it, but when pressed, it sounds like it's so that he could spend the money that he and Coral had been saving up for their wedding on something else. A boat. A Catalina 27, apparently. Very useful and practical thing to have when you're living in the city, especially if your fiance gets seasick. We did one of those riverside cruise things a while back, and she had a bad time. Basil says that he'll help her get over that, and sailboats are different. Well, anyways, after my whole outburst before, Coral has apparently been giving second thoughts about the free wedding things. Basil asked me to talk to her, apologize, and tell her that it wasn't a bad idea after all. He basically said that I owe it to him to help clean up the mess that I caused. I don't feel great about that, though. I don't want to drive a wedge between Coral and Basil, but telling her I think that is a good idea, after all this, feels like lying. And I guess actively advocating for a potential train wreck is a further line for me than just agreeing to play my assigned volunteer role as a baker. Moreover, this was my first real conversation with Basil, and I have to say that I'm not totally convinced he is a great person. What gave you that idea? I don't know if he's exactly manipulated her into going along with this, but it kind of feels that way. So what do? It's been a little while now since I talked to Basil, so I really do need to do something. Be it what Basil asked, or further involving myself in the drama by telling Coral that I don't think the wedding or the entire marriage is a good idea. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think OP needs to talk to Coral. Don't tell her what she should or shouldn't do, but just be very honest with her about the conversation that you had with him and kind of make it open-ended. Ask how she feels about the boat and how she feels about this, that, and, you know, try and take her feelings into account and be a sounding board for her. It does seem like Basil is being manipulative, and I'm not getting good vibes from him. You do have to be careful because she probably loves this guy a lot. You don't want to alienate her. And so it is like a tricky situation.
You know, I agree with you that maybe being a sounding board would be a good idea. I would be further concerned that I don't think she even knows about the boat idea. I think that this is something he's telling her on the side. And it's like, we could save so much money for something else.
Oh, that's a plot twist I didn't see coming.
Right? And so I think that he isn't telling her the full truth on what he wants to spend that money for. And when they finally get done with the wedding, he's going to surprise her with a boat. Like, oh, I surprised you with this boat now, right? And she's going to probably be feeling a lot of buyer's remorse at that point in time, right? So I'm guessing she isn't even involved in the boat idea. So I think OP should absolutely start off the conversation with, I think that, talking about the boat and being like, I know that Basil's been talking to you about blah, blah, blah. And, I want to know how you feel about him wanting to spend, the wedding money on this boat. And whether you think that's a good idea or not, and if this is really what you want. And maybe not in the way that I'm saying it, but I definitely think like talking to her about this is probably the best approach, and may end up not having to do OP's job of telling her not to marry Basil. All right.
Yeah, well, hopefully she'll come to that conclusion on her own.
Yeah.
But certainly do not just try and convince her to go with the free wedding idea. Don't listen to
Yeah.
Basil. He
Yeah.
is scum. Talk to Coral and do whatever you can to help her and support her, and hopefully she'll see the light.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like I'm grossly speculating on Basil's motives here, so I can't really say one way or the other. But I just kind of get a vibe here, and I mean, what can you do other than play off the vibes,
Well,
right?
it seems so one-sided. Like she gets boat sick, and he's like, "We'll work on that."
Yeah.
It does seem like this is all to benefit him, and he's
Mm-hmm.
trying to use this as like, "This is how I get the thing that I want,"
Yeah.
and to heck with my partner.
I mean, you'd be surprised if he already has the boat, to be quite honest.
I mean, he could.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
How do you get peppermint bark?
Well, with peppermint dogs.
Yeah, you find a candy dog and make it mad.
Ah.
And it's National Peppermint Bark Day.
Oh, so go find yourself some candy dogs.
And it's
And if you don't have any candy dogs, become the candy man to make sure that happens. I think that's what happens in that movie,
I have no idea what movie you're talking
The
about.
Candy Man.
Okay, I don't.
Oh, all right. Well, then.
Wait, the horror Candyman movie? That's not how it goes at all. But it's also National Cookie Cutter Day.
Oh, and be the candy man who also makes cookies, cookie cutter things. Yeah. So it's going to be a good time to be the candy
Are we
man.
talking about I have not seen the remake, but the original Candyman was not. I hate to disappoint you about making candy. And
It's about
cookies.
making candy. I mean, what else would a movie be called Candyman for? It's about peppermint dogs and cookies and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean,
But
that's
do,
just
do not show this movie to your children. You will traumatize them.
great show for children, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I was probably a kid when I saw it, but I was like, I was a weird kid, so.
And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on weddings.
If you're getting married, make sure that you and your partner are both prioritized.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.